This week on the homecoming edition of the JMC Network Newscast. First, how the Alumni Association has been prepping for this year's homecoming festivities. Then, the theater department has spent months planning and practicing for this weekend's musical of the Broadway hit Mary Poppins. Next, the JMC Network got a look behind the scenes at constructions of Social Club homecoming parade floats. And finally, a recap of the 23rd annual Gutenberg Awards celebration. Welcome to the JMC Network Newscast. I'm Savanah Silva. The Alumni Association spends weeks planning, prepping, and promoting ACU's homecoming. With so many events geared towards not just current students, but alumni as well, it's easy to understand why this is the university's most buzzed-about event.
With ACU on track to celebrate its fall homecoming, we caught up with the Alumni Association and the Student Steering Committee to see what exactly goes into planning a Wildcat homecoming celebration.
Well, it's definitely a team effort. We have Taylor Flowers as our student director, and then there are 14 other steering committee members, and we have the alumni staff, but it takes all of our campus partners. So we have facilities and WFF and student life and university events. I mean, there's probably a dozen different offices that kind of help us make this weekend a success.
Although the appropriate organizations make it look easy, homecoming is by no means an easy feat.
I guess lump sum, we had to contact every food truck in Abilene, get a contract signed for them, make sure we had enough money for everything, what we wanted to do. So it was like a 3-month process of contacting, getting the money, making sure we had like all the resources and volunteers to do it. So it's a lot.
For a complete list of homecoming events, go to the association's website, alumniassociation.acu.edu. The Department of Theater puts on several shows throughout the fall and spring semesters, but the homecoming musical is always the biggest production. This year's musical is the timeless classic Mary Poppins.
It's been a really pleasant process for most of the time. It's gone very smoothly, and that has a lot to do with the team that I'm working with and the cast and the crew that I'm working with. They've been wonderful. There's always some bumps in every large musical like this, and a lot of technical hurdles that we've had to overcome and things of that nature. But overall, it's going as smoothly as we could hope, and coming together well. I love Step in Time just because of the energy, and it's so fun, and I love the idea of the sweeps are kind of representative of guardian angels in this show, and they're talked about in that light. But I also really love Feed the Birds. That has a lot to do with the fact that it's being sung by my mentor and somebody that's touched so many other people's lives, and that's Jeanette Lipford. And so it's really meaningful to a lot of us when she sings that, because she has fed so many of us over the years.
Mary Poppins will show tonight and tomorrow evening at 8 p.m. and Sunday at 2. Well, the social clubs have spent the last 3 weeks doing what is known as pledging. Most of the clubs and their pledges have done many of their activities in public, but the one thing we haven't seen is their homecoming preparations. The clubs are known for keeping their floats and parade performances a secret until the day of the parade. However, the JMC Network had the chance to pull back the veil of secrecy and take a look at Alpha Chi Omega's float preps.
Once I found out the theme in May, I started working on ideas for what the float was going to be, our personal theme. And so I've pretty much been working on this since May. We've actually been working on the actual float since Sunday. I really enjoy homecoming. When I pledged, it was my favorite part of pledging. So it's been really cool to be a pledge and then be a member with homecoming, and then now I'm an officer and a senior in charge of homecoming. So I'm really excited, and I really hope that the pledges get to have as much fun as I did when I was in homecoming.
We all have to be required at least for 8 hours, and some people, if they aren't able to make that, they make up for it. So stay as much time as possible, but it's fun. For the first 2 weeks, it was really hard getting all of our formals on and everything, but now that this is the activities, it kind of is incorporated into the pledging process.
I just help and encourage the girls especially working with the pledges. Pledging can bring a little bit of turmoil and just stress to their lives, and so I'm just trying to be there for them. If you need to swing a hammer hard or reach something up high, like typically I can do that easier than if I put two girls.
There's 2 cases at Abilene Regional.
I'm excited to see how we put this all together and like what our dances and like singing, how everyone it turns out to be and how everyone reacts to it. I'm also excited to sleep after the game.
You can see Alpha Chi's float along with those of the other social clubs and organizations tomorrow at 9:30 during the homecoming parade on the south and west side of campus. The Gutenberg Awards is an annual celebration the Department of Journalism and Mass Communication puts on for their professional achievements of its alumni. Students and alumni alike gathered Thursday evening to celebrate 3 recipients of the 23rd annual Gutenberg. Students had a chance to wear their business best and network along some of the JMC alumni. As the night settled down, guests had the chance to hear from Jason MacArthur, Michelle Morris, and LaCandice Tucker, who were this year's alumni honored.
The JMC program has always been like a second family to me, and winning the Gutenberg is the highest honor. It's to me like winning a Pulitzer because it's from my family, from the family that taught me how to be a journalist, how to be a thinker, and it just means the world. I've won a lot of awards through the years for writing and other things, but because this one comes from my alma mater, it just means the most.
The Gutenberg is one of the major awards the department gives out, with the faculty committee choosing each recipient. Morris & Mitchell, JMC's student-run advertising and public relations agency, puts on the event each year.
So Morris & Mitchell is in charge of the Gutenberg event, and that was my team. And so what we did first was, the team is about 8 girls. We just happened to be all girls this time, but we were 8 girls, and we all worked together. First of all, we decided like what theme we would like, and then kind of what we wanted the people to feel whenever they came into the event, how welcome we wanted them to be. And then once we decided that, we kind of went more into what kind of food do they like, and what decorations do we want to do, and things like that. You kind of do your typical assigning tasks to different team members. We didn't want it to be a specific theme. We went with Welcome Home because ACU is where they're from, so we kind of wanted to do a living room style. We did their comfort foods and just different things like that, the kind of things that made them feel comfortable. And with Texas, we just wanted it to stay very, like, not so southern, but just a warm feeling. And so we hope that our color scheme and our photo booth and just different elements that we had kind of had that welcome home feeling, because it is homecoming week that this event lied on.
That's all we have for you this week. For more stories and breaking news, you can go to acuoptimist.com, or you can find us on Twitter or Facebook at ACU Optimist. You can also pick up a paper Friday after chapel. Until next time, for the JMC Network Newscast, I'm Savanah Silva.